everyone. I'm Jill Gorman, Director of Agent Coaching and Culture at Colorado Property Group and Remax Pinnacle. And, we get asked all the time what it's like to be a real estate agent. And so, we really want everyone to know that there are options out there for you, and it's not a one size fits all. And so today I'm joined by Aaron Eicher, the managing broker of Remax Pinnacle. And so we're going to talk to you a little bit about what those options look like as you explore this career in real estate. Hi, Aaron. Good morning.
Hey, Jill. Good morning. Thanks so much for having me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. As we start thinking through, all the different options when you're getting into real estate, what are some of those options that people have available to them, Aaron?
It's a really good question because I think when most people think of being a real estate agent, they think of one version of what that looks like, and that is generally the independent agent. And there are a lot of very successful independent agents out there still who have made a really great career in real estate. Being an independent agent is pretty simple. You do your coursework, you get your license, pick a brokerage, and you agree to what we call hang your license at that brokerage. And these independent agents are really doing it all. So they're responsible for pretty much every part of their business from start to finish. And that's, I think, what a lot of people think of when they think of a real estate agent.
I agree. I think that's kind of what first comes to mind for a lot of people. Who do you think that would be the right fit for that type of, person?
Yeah, this is absolutely the lone wolf go-getter who likes to work on their own and probably has skill sets in more than just real estate. So maybe a background in marketing or a background in sales. They need very little support.
Okay, so it sounds like they're kind of like the one man show type of thing. They're
Ex-
doing it all their own.
exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. Are there other options besides that? Because it sounds like there are, but I don't think a lot of people know about them.
Yeah, so there's really a couple other most common options out there. There's the small team format, which some people have probably heard of or they've seen, postcards in the mail from. And a small team is typically one and two, maybe three people coming together and really forming a partnership where they work together, they brand their name together, and they share some of the workload. So this option can be really good for people who are interested in a business partnership, but you have to be really comfortable with all the things that come with a business partnership, which generally includes, sharing some of your income, also sharing your expenses, but sharing some of your income no matter how hard you or your business partners are working. And
Yeah.
then the last option that I think is becoming more common, but is pretty new in the history of real estate is the large team format. So these groups are generally going to be six or more people. I've seen them as big as 150 people, really just
Wow.
depending upon the market. Yeah. And the idea of the large team format is to really take that camaraderie you get from the small team format but remove the burden of sharing income and expenses. And so the agent on a large team acts as a, independent, doing their own deals and making their own commission, but with camaraderie and sort of a little bit more support than you would get if you were an independent agent just going to, a big office and saying, I'm going to hang my license here and see what I can do. So in the scale of things, that's kind of the one that's going to feel the most truly like a team,
Okay.
but still allow agents some independence and individuality.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. I can see there's pros and cons to all of those, it sounds like. When you think through them, Aaron, are there like distinct, I mean, as for someone that's in the business and does, this on a regular basis, do you feel like there are certain pros and cons to each one of those different avenues?
Definitely. And I think if you're considering a career in real estate, or maybe you're considering moving brokerages, the number one question you need to ask yourself is what's valuable to me as a successful business person. Take all the noise out of it about what, someone did, or we hear a lot. I had a family member in real estate, because what's valuable to you is going to be different. And the more value that you can get from the team or the brokerage or wherever you go, it usually is going to change your commission split. So, to give you some specifics around that, if you look at being an independent agent, which we talked about very first, I'm just going to go out and I want to do it all on my own. I like working alone. Um, you're going to generally be able to keep a larger percentage of the commission checks that you earn from closing deals, but you're also going to be responsible for all of the expenses that come with marketing and come with continuing education and training and coaching, as well as leads. So, getting in front of clients, we know, is one of the most important parts of being successful in real estate. And as an independent agent, you're responsible for bringing those people to you through networking, sphere of influence. There are options out there where you can go buy leads, but they're, thousands of dollars a month to get enough to really make it worth your money. But you're keeping more of your commission, you're paying more of your expenses. And if you really like working alone and you don't want to depend on anybody else, and you're good at all of the things, you can be really successful as an independent agent.
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely see where, yeah, if you're good at all of those things and you feel like you can handle it all, then it works. It works.
Hmm. Yep.
But that's a lot to take on when you think about it too, for sure. What
Yeah.
are and then I think you talked about the smaller team. That was like the, couple of individuals that come together. What do you think are some of the pros and cons of something like that, of a smaller team?
Yeah. So in a smaller team, you're going to get that camaraderie. You're going to get that small group to bounce ideas off. But, I'm a firm believer that you can get more ideas, more creative ideas, the bigger your group is. So in a small group, you get some of that camaraderie and some of that creative group think, but it's limited to the people that you have. So you need to be very intentional about who you want to partner with in a small team format. And because it's like a business partnership, as I said, I think it can be pretty frustrating if you go into business with another agent who maybe doesn't work as hard as you do. And if you're a go-getter, having that shared commission income, even though you're sharing the expenses, is that valuable enough to you? And that goes back to the, what's important to me. But you are going to be able to combine your databases and share clients. And if you want to take a vacation, there's probably someone out there that can help you, which didn't cover this on the independent agent, but independent agents are basically on call 24/7 because they don't have anyone to step in if they want to take some time off. So the small team gives you a little bit more of that flexibility. But really you need to feel like it's almost like a marriage, like you have met your perfect match to go into business with, and that you're super duper comfortable with who you're going to be working with.
That makes sense. It seems I think like you said, like we said, there's pros and cons, but you have to really trust that other person or
Yep.
that other couple of people, because if you're pooling money, like that's a thing, right? That can be scary as far as expenses and income goes both ways.
Definitely.
Gotcha. Well, and then I know you talked the large team format as well. What are some of the pros and cons to that piece of it, that portion?
Yeah. So, the people that really thrive in a large team environment are the people that know what their strengths are and they want to focus on those strengths. This doesn't mean, you're necessarily a brand new agent, although we see a lot of brand new agents thrive in this environment. But even experienced agents who are recognizing that trying to maybe do all the marketing and showing houses as well as all the contract stuff, they have weak spots in there. And so the large team format provides an environment where you as the agent can really focus on what you are good at and only what you're good at and be an expert in it. The biggest con is in the large team format because you're getting all of this support, and generally large teams are going to provide you with clients. They're going to give you real clients to work with. You're going to have a little bit less attractive split model. So when you get your commission check, more of that's going to go to your brokerage than would as an independent agent. But your team leader is really going to be taking on the burden of that overhead and monthly expense for lead generation, marketing, any staff administrative support that you want. And so the risk to you as a team agent is really pretty low in order to get to making money as fast as possible. But to be good in this environment, you have to be a team player. Like, you really have to like working with other people, because it is, the greater good of the group. But oftentimes I think these agents can get into a team and start making money a lot faster than if you're trying to do it all yourself from a grassroots kind of place.
No, that makes sense. And especially when I think about a new agent or someone like that that's trying to figure it out, especially, if they don't know what to do. Sometimes you just don't know what you don't know in the
Yeah,
beginning, right? So that collaboration and team feeling is probably nice for them.
absolutely.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for explaining all of those different options today. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. What do you think the future, out of curiosity, what do you think the future of real estate looks like, Erin? What's your crystal ball say?
Yep, that's a big question. And I think a lot of real estate agents, even agents who have been in the industry for decades, are asking themselves that question. And, I think that what we're going to see going forward is a lot more requirements of real estate agents to be successful. As we've seen technology enter real estate at an increasingly fast pace, the demands on a real estate agent to be successful have increased to a point where, that support and having someone to help you with the A to Z is going to be a better incubator for success than the people who are trying to do this all on their own. I do think there's some personalities and some people out there that can still thrive as independent agents, but as we see the internet become, giving more information to clients and consumers faster, it's really going to take a special kind of agent that's getting relevant, regular training on how to be successful in this business and has support so that they can increase the number of people that they're talking to really make a career out of real estate. We saw in 2023 more than 50% of transactions were closed by teams, both small team and large teams. So I think the team model is becoming the future, not necessarily because that's the perfect fit for every single person, but because the demands on real estate agents and professionals is increasing so much that it's really the only way to survive. So we'll see. The crystal ball is what the crystal ball is, and it's, never perfectly clear, but I do think that we'll see a lot of agents on teams thrive in both up and down markets and not struggle and have a better chance of making a career out of real estate for the long haul.
Absolutely. That makes sense. And I think you said the perfect thing right there, which is people are hoping for a career, right? They want something long term. So I love
Yep.
that. Thank you again
Yeah.
for all of this information today, Erin. We really appreciate it.
Yep.
Um,
Happy to be here.
awesome. Well, and if anybody has any questions or wants any feedback or would like to sit down and talk with Erin or myself, definitely feel free to reach out, give us a phone call, shoot us an email, whatever's easiest for you. And we look forward to talking to you all soon. Bye
Thanks,
bye.
Jill.
Thanks,
Bye.
Erin.